Hello everybody, this is Ashraf. Wanted to give you another tip of the day here. Couple of things, I was just looking at some way that people interact with each other, and today's tip is how to have a pleasing personality. And most people, they don't use tact, including myself sometimes. It happens to everybody, but they don't use tact when they're dealing with people. They get into arguments over certain things, and one thing I found that when you have an argument, I don't know why people have to argue, because both people have the same goal, which is to benefit each other, right? So if you have a certain way of doing certain things and the other person doesn't, there's a way to, handle. Here's an example I'll tell you, and how to avoid arguments and how to get more agreements with people, because the way you deal with people that's really what life is all about, right? And one of the ways is that let's say you ask somebody to do a certain thing, and they said, and they don't get it, right? They just say, and they just keep talking. And then, what most people do, they say, that's not what I asked you. I asked you this. Now, that phrase leads into an argument. You notice that. So instead of saying it that way, what you have to look at is that when you're trying to communicate with somebody and they don't get it, what you're trying to say, that means your methodology of the words you're using is not computing in their brain. A bunch of words maybe to you, but I'll tell you, it makes sense, because you have to look at it this way. You guys are like two computers, okay? They have a software embedded in their brain and how they receive information, right? Your software doesn't, is not compatible to that type of software they have. So you might be asking them, hey, let's go to the movies. And they are thinking that, I don't get it, right? So you have to maybe show them a different methodology. In other words, instead of saying, that's not why I asked you, you say, well, let me ask you this question, and phrase it differently. Use different words and say the same thing. So sometimes choosing the right words can avoid arguments. Using more pleasant in the tone of your voice makes a difference. So you have to ask, if you're asking for somebody to do some of the things and they don't get it, ask a different way of the same question. Say, hey, listen, I know you don't want to go to the movies. However, one of the friends I just spoke to, they said, hey, it's got a really good scene in there that I know you like, and this is what the scene was about. So you may have to throw more benefit into your phrase, into your questions, and when you're communicating with them, that's really going to stand out. So that's the tip for the day and how to communicate better. Okay, remember, avoid arguments, because they're like, getting bitten by a rattlesnake. Nobody wins in an argument. Okay, so focus on pleasing the other person by using tact. Okay, stuff like that we're going to teach you if you click on the link below and join the program. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.